no one gets rich quick, but when you get rich, it happens fast. And the reason for that is because you put in all the labor, you put in all the love, you put in all the hours and all the sacrifice beforehand, and then the results speak for themselves.
Welcome to the Fitpreneurs, the show that will help you flex your business muscles so you can make more money and live the life you really want. No more complaining, whining, or being a wimp. It's time to pump up your fitness business and push yourself beyond your comfort zone. So no girly man or lazy ladies allowed. It's time for me to do some push-ups and turn things over to my friends AJ Roberts and Simon Lovell. Hasta la vista.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of The Fitpreneurs with two-time world record holder and leading direct response fitness information marketer, AJ Roberts.
And of course, my crazy co-host, Simon Lovell, the leading fit pro marketing coach for studio facility owners and those who want to create a premium and passive product online.
Welcome everybody to this episode number 12.
Ah, man, you can count. I was like, I saw you put it in the notes there, and I was wondering if you would get it right or if you'd still fumble on that one. But you got it right, you know.
No, it is an exciting time, you know. The sun is out once again in Bath. I seem to be repeating myself that I have a nice warm cup of tea, which is strange. I should probably have something a bit more cooling. But I've got a bit of a rant before we even go into the main content of this episode, which is seagull issues. Like, they are relentless in Bath, dude. It's like constantly you walk outside and it's like you're dodging seagulls. Plus, my car, every time I get it like washed once a week, right? And every time, like literally, I'll go out 2 hours after I've had it washed and it's just covered in bird shit.
You gotta move. That's the answer.
I just need to cover it up with something. Like, do I have like so I don't know whether it's like the color black. I mean, it's worse when I park it under like some trees and it just literally gets covered. But like the car now, it's got like a proper paint problem with it. This guy was like, you need to get that properly sorted out. And it's like, Jesus, this bird shit is like seriously damaging my car.
Yeah, over here, the sea air, you know, the salt in the sea air creates like this oxidative like layer on the car. I think that's what it is. And you have to have it specially cleaned. Otherwise, it starts to screw up your paint. And I had mine done the other day and it looks like it just like brand new, like it's drove off the lot. But the same thing, I have a black car and they look dirty so fast. You know, you could probably wash them every other day. And that one day you don't wash it, it's going to look dirty.
When you were young, did you always have friends that said that if they like fed baking powder to the seagulls, it would make them explode?
Yeah, I had a cousin who.
I think everyone had a friend like that.
Yeah, so I never did it myself. I love animals, but my cousin apparently did it, and he would get some enjoyment out of that. But we probably should tell the people what we're going to be talking about today, because it's not all about seagull poop and blowing up innocent animals.
No, I mean, we just do that because we need something quirky to put, you know, in the intro so people actually listen to the episode. Not guys, today we're going to be talking about marketing ideas. We're gonna brainstorm just lots of different crazy ideas, so you can like pick and choose a couple of them or roll with, you know, one idea. Or we're just gonna get creative. We're going to give a basic framework, or AJ is going to give a basic framework to, you know, running your marketing campaigns. But then we're just going to brainstorm loads of stuff. You'll be like, whoa, I've just got so much here I can do. So yeah, looking forward to this one.
Yeah, you know, that, like you said, hopefully they can get something out of it. It's funny because I think everyone's at different places in their business. And sometimes when we create these shows, you know, we're trying to envision, you know, who we're talking to and what's the conversation that's going on in their head. And as we've come to find out through the feedback and, you know, the comments and the private messages we've got, everyone is at a different stage. So we figured, why not just do an episode where we kind of brainstorm some of our biggest ideas, see where it leads us, and hopefully, you know, you get some golden nuggets out of it. We've had great feedback so far for the previous 11 episodes. And again, if you have anything to tell us, you know, please go over to the website or go over to iTunes, leave a review, shoot us a message, Facebook us up, whatever you guys want. You know, we're here to listen and to, you know, we're constantly trying to make this show better. And we really do appreciate your feedback. And we do definitely appreciate when you guys give us some love and tell us we're doing a good job.
Yeah, head to iTunes. Please give us a review, and that would be awesome. 5 stars, obviously, and nothing less would be great. But before we do go on into the content, AJ, talk to me, my friend, about the Fitness Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm very honored. I just got
awesome. Let's carry on into the main show.
So, Dr. John Spencer Ellis put together the Fitness Hall of Fame, and put out the first group batch of people to be nominations, and then the public got to vote on it. And I was up against for the Under 40 Trendsetter Award, which is cool because I'm not even 30 yet, so that's pretty awesome. I got 11 more years. I could maybe defend the title. Maybe a few years. I say I'm like 5-time defending Under 40 Trendsetter. Anyway, but I was up against Dr. John Bernali, Brad Peelin, Eric Cressy, and a couple other people. And, I wanted to get as much support as I could. And so I put it out across social media and to the people I knew, and I had overwhelming support from everyone and was voted in. So I'm being induced into the Fitness Hall of Fame for the Under 40 Trendsetter. And, it's really honorable. The other categories, my mentor, Louis Simmons, was selected for the Innovator Award, for the, Legacy Award. I think it's Jack LaLanne was selected for that. Bill Phillips has been indicted in made the Fitness Hall of Fame as well. Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Jillian Michaels, one of the personal trainers. So I'm in a group of people, amongst a group of people that I've looked up to my entire career, and great, obviously great fitness inspiration to many, many people, and it's an honor to be a part of that group. And so I'm pretty pumped to have been selected to that. And it just goes to speak, things like this podcast and other things we do, has an impact on a lot of people's lives. And that's really what it's all about, is living this purpose-driven life and really, impacting lives and helping people get to where they want to get to through leading it through example and sharing our knowledge. So I'm pumped on that. And, it's it was a tough battle, and I'm glad I won that. I'm very competitive. So, even though I was up in a class that was, a group of guys I thought would be very difficult, I managed to squeak it out and be selected. So I'm pumped.
Cool. And you've signed up to the Spartan race, right?
Oh yeah. That's a funny story. I was actually flying back from one of my CrossFit seminars that I run, the powerlifting seminar, and I was in the airport, and the flight was delayed. So I said, "Oh man, I don't have anything to read." So I went into the bookstore and saw Spartan Up, which is Joe DeSenda's sentient book, and he's the creator of Spartan Race. And I started reading the book, and it's so funny because I think a champion mind is, it's a rare breed. And when you read stories of other people that share that same mindset of you, instantly kind of have a bond with them. And so, as many of you know, I competed in bodybuilding in March, and I plan to compete again in bodybuilding. But this off-season, phase, I've really been focused on other things, bodybuilding. I've been training when I can, and still staying on my diet. But as any off-season goes, you start to get a little bit out of shape, and I really kind of didn't have a competition picked. I was supposed to go to nationals, but it clashes with some other stuff I have going on. I'm not going to be able to do that show, and so. Essentially I was kind of losing my drive in terms of what I was training for, what I was doing. I was reading this book, and I actually just picked it up just to, get into the mind of the creator of Spartan Race and kind of, see what it was all about. And I was very inspired by him. And, I realized I'd never run a 5K, and I don't even think I've run 3 miles before. So, to do an obstacle course, 5K run with, crazy, mud holes and ropes to climb and all this different stuff. I figured, why not, something to shoot for. So in 10 weeks here, I'm going to be doing my first, adventure race, the Spartan race. And, I put it out to Facebook, and a bunch of people have signed up. They're doing the same race. One of my friends is crazy. He's doing, the more advanced one. We're doing the sprint, which is 5K, and he's doing, I think, a 10K or 15K. I don't even know. But the day before. So that's cool. But it was just something, what I found is, and I think you all agree, and I know that you're just about to recommit to your fitness goals too. I think you agree that oftentimes, for us, we're very goal orientated people. And most fitness professionals are, most trainers are, most business people are, entrepreneurs, very goal-oriented people. And when we don't have a goal, we don't have a focus, it's very hard to maintain the progress we've made if we're not focused on it, you know. And the minute we take our eye off the ball, so to speak, we start to slip and we start to go backwards in our head. And so for me, this was like, you know, I knew I wanted to get in shape. I knew I wanted to start doing cardio sessions and all that fun stuff again. But I didn't have a purpose to do it because I hadn't picked a bodybuilding show. I had nothing else I was training for. And so this was just something to focus on to get me back in the gym consistently, regularly, keep me focused on my diet, keep me focused on my training. And I think that that's like, you know, we try to do that in all areas for us, you know, whether it's in the fitness side or whether it's in the financial side, which kind of leads us to your awesome month. But, you know, I think that's the big thing is having the goals. And that was one reason I signed up for that. So, you know, I'm talking a lot about myself. Let's talk about you. You've had an awesome month. Apart from, you know, you've been done some awesome things in the UK, but you set a big goal and you smashed it this month. So why don't you tell the listeners about that?
Yeah, so what you were talking about was fascinating. I want to actually talk more about kind of commitment and stuff because it leads on, and you're just a great example of someone who, you know, where most people would not commit, you follow through. And I need to still do more work on the fitness side in terms of that. But in terms of me this month, you know, I set a big target this month of doing 100,000 dollars in sales of my coaching business, helping fit pros and studio owners and people help to build a passive income, and smashed through that and did 110k this month, which is a big jump for me. And the reason I want to share that is because, you know, I managed to do those bigger numbers really from like two main focal points, and that was working on myself, so removing a lot of blocks and limitations and self-belief issues I'd had myself, but also really from focusing on client results more, just constantly asking myself this question: what can I do to get my clients quicker results? And the more results I've been getting, the more referrals I've got, the more people have been ascending through my product programs. And, you know, I can get a return on investment for someone now, typically within the first 30 days or less. And so that's a really good return. And the reason I have had those shifts is because I've done a lot of personal development. And when I grow myself, I find that my clients just grow with me. And that's why we all of us need to be working on, you know, whether you're listening to this show and you're you know, peak of your performance right now, or whether you're a new trainer, we constantly need to be improving on our own level of service, but also building on ourselves so that we can pull those forward that we're trying to move along with us. And so it's been hard work. But I get a massive buzz off of results from my clients. The income is great, making those numbers, and it will grow and grow and grow as the months go on. But that, as I grow, you know, I'm going to be able to pull my clients along to make even more because they're seeing the shifts that I'm making. And I think that's just a key.
You know, what's funny is, and I want to back up to, I mean, was it 14 months ago you started this new business? Mm-hmm. So I want to back up just like, I guess it's probably 3 years ago now, when we first, like, obviously we already knew each other, but when we first sat down at the CrossFit Games and we decided, you know, you came to me and looking for help with your information product. And, you know, we built a plan out and successfully 6-figure information product in 8 months, you know, build it up. And then you said you wanted to go into helping other people. And, you know, we talked about the things you'd done in the past with the book deal and the marketing for the personal training that you had been doing and all of that stuff. And you said that was really your passion and what you wanted to help people with. And I think that what's fascinating is, and then in the last episode, we talked about this, about results. Results are what matters. How could you get, you know, we talked about accountability, but it was all about to get bigger results. And you were over here, what was it, Christmas time? You were over here at Christmas, but you were just over here after that too, right? When were you over here last? April or May?
No idea. I come over so often.
Yeah, it was very recently. A couple of episodes we were sitting across the table from each other, but we had many conversations about, like you had said, about, you know, how do I get quicker results? And we brainstormed some ideas about promotions. We brainstormed ideas about just like accountability and things like that. And what's fascinating is you kind of went away and immediately started doing that. And you actually, you know, even though this month was a huge month, last month was a big month for you as well. And I think that that's what most people like. You know, they hear these numbers and they think they say, I want to get to that overnight. This has been a 14-month journey to get there, you know, and you continue to go up. You know, now you've got $1 million business here. But that's the thing that we were talking about when we go all the way back to the referral episode we did, all the way back to talking about results. If people just start and really focus in and begin to implement the things we're sharing on this podcast constantly, by the time we get to episode 100 here, we're going to have people who have literally gone from 0 to 6 figures, from 6 figures to 7 figures, because it's not about, like, no one gets rich quick. But when you get rich, it happens fast. And the reason for that is because you put in all the labor, you put in all the love, you put in all the hours and all the sacrifice beforehand. And then the results speak for themselves. And I find, basically anything I do, whether it's, financial, whether it's physical, whether it's with, relationships, whether it's with my spirituality, whatever you focus on is gonna grow. And so when you have that focus, you won't immediately get to where you want to get to, but you will get there eventually. And, if you think about it, when you try to learn to ride a bike, you fell off so many times. You had training wheels, you had all this stuff, and then you learn to ride the bike. And you never quit until you learn to ride the bike. But somewhere as we get older, we start riding bikes, right? But if I get a bike out of the shed right now, I'd be able to ride that bike. And so that's the beauty of these skills. And you go through this learning process and you have failures in business and you have frustrations and you have times where it doesn't come together. But all of a sudden it clicks. And once it clicks, that's it. You figured out that formula. You figured out the way to do it, and it will work over and over and over again. And they often say, they ask a lot of people who are very successful, millionaires, billionaires. They say to them, what's the one thing? What's the one thing? And they all have different answers because they've all come about their success through different paths. And obviously, success leaves clues, but at the same time, you kind of have to figure out what's right for you. And, obviously following other people and their what they've done and imitating successes, it works very well, but there's still an essence of you. You're your own individual. But once you figure that out, once you figure out what clicks and what works, it's just a case of repeat, and it grows. And that's what I've seen, with you over the years, and we've become extremely close friends, business partners, all this fun stuff that we do together. But it's because, we share that same passion for personal improvement. And as we improve, our business improves, everything else improves. And, we've both gone through over that time so much ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster. But I've always said to you, and I say to my clients, and I say to friends, who struggle, the downs are there, but if you keep pushing forward, you'll have the ups, and most people, and I think, some people listening, like maybe they're in a place right now in their fitness business where they're really struggling, they haven't got any new clients, or they just don't, the monthly income's just not coming. But a lot of times it's not because you can't have the success. It's just because you're looking in the wrong direction. You're not focused on the right things. You're majoring in the minor things. And, which is a big Tony Robbins quote, which I know you're working closely with Tony now. But these are the things that I think are important to say because, when I stood on stage at Luca, Travis, and Steve's event, Change the Game, and spoke to the trainers in the audience, I remembered back 11 years ago when I was at Ryan Lee's seminar and I was sat in the audience. And I knew then I wanted to be on that stage. And here I am, 11 years later, and I'm on stage in front of, 500 fitness professionals sharing, how to build a business online or how to use online marketing to grow their personal training business. And, it's crazy because when you ask the people in the crowd, who of you thinks you can do this? Only a few hands go up. And that's where it starts. It starts with that personal belief. And when you started this business, you believe you could do it. You didn't know how you're going to get there. You had so many frustrating times, but you had this belief in yourself you could do it. And now the proof is in the pudding. And, now you've done it. You know how to replicate it. You know how to do it again. And you're going to continue to grow. And, I'm excited as a friend to watch it. And, it's awesome because you take that and then you share that with your clients. And now they get bigger results. And like you said, that's what it's all about. It's not about the money. It's about the impact you have. And the reason, obviously, we both love working with fit pros. Fitness is a passion of ours, but more so, the people we work with are impacting lives, which means we're touching so many more people, and impacting so many more lives because as we help a trainer or a fitness professional, who owns a place that maybe has 2 or 3 trainers, how many lives do then they touch? And that's the thing. And that's why I think that's the passion and the drive that drives us. And then everything else is just, like icing on the cake.
Oh yeah. Well, something actually which you said, which was interesting about, is about people thinking it's just a get rich quick type of thing, and a lot of people just sit there observing other people, believing that they're just getting rich quickly, and it's just not true. Like there's a lot of hard graft that goes on to building a 6 or 7 figure business, and it takes sacrifices. It takes stepping outside your comfort zone. It takes having some different shifts and working on yourself instead of just the business. It takes looking at yourself and having dark days and having really positive ones and riding waves and just doing some crazy shit. I'll be honest with you, but it's the days like I had yesterday when I hit that goal. It's just a crazy feeling. So keep
Right, and
rolling.
you know what?
Wherever you're at, just keep rolling.
You know what's funny about that is I was watching your social media over the last week or so, and you actually had some crazy shit going on. So like this is what people don't understand, and I don't know. I'm still exploring this, but there always, whenever there's a positive, there seems to be a negative, right? And I don't think it always has to be that way, but I think human nature expects that, and so anytime we expect something, things happen, right?
You can explain what crazy shit you saw versus the high that I've had, right?
Right, and so we have the upper limit, but we always seem to then bring ourselves back down. And so, last week you went and met with Dean Jackson, right? Phenomenal marketer, one of the best in the world. Everyone talks about how much of a genius he is. So you had an amazing time with a mentor. Then you had people coming out to your house, and you were mentoring them, and you were sharing with them. But then you went out that night, and you didn't get into the club, and you were frustrated about it. And, so that was a small thing. But then the next night you went out and one of your buddies ended up getting in a fight within, I don't know, you said first hour or something, you guys were out, which kind of ruined the entire evening. Right. And then Sunday, I think it was, Sunday you crashed, you're exhausted, as expected from all the activity. Yeah. So you were all day in bed, probably felt sorry for yourself, no offense, but you probably were on a pretty bit of low and just, I don't want to do shit. And then Monday you kicked yourself in the ass again. You said, I got one more day left in the month to really turn it on. So this was yesterday, one more day in the month to turn it on. You went out there, you crushed it, boom, immediate high. That's what I think most people, they have the negative, they have the downs, but they don't turn it around. They don't make that decision. Mm-hmm. They just let it keep going. And you just made that decision. Okay, I've spent a day in bed. It's time to get my ass up and into gear, and I think that it's the same with people who sit there in front of Facebook waiting for someone to contact them, or they sit there in front of the phone waiting for it to ring, and really that's the thing that with anything, you have to go out and really get what you want. And, but understand that you're going to have the highs and lows. Like we all do. The thing is most successful people, they just don't always talk about the lows because they don't let it become a big thing in their head. Right. And that's why you don't hear them like very often talking about the day-to-day ups and downs, because they don't see it as such a big thing like you may. So they just focus on the positive, on the positive, on the positive, and really block out the negative. Whereas a lot of times other people are focused on the negative, the negative, the negative, and they don't see the positive. And I think that's the big difference. And just taking action, doesn't matter about yesterday, doesn't matter about the last week, doesn't matter about the last month. You could have done nothing for your business in the last 5 years and you could be in a really bad place. But if you make that decision right now to change and immediately start doing things to move you forward, in a month you'll be in a better place. In 3 months you'll be in an even better place. In 6 months you're going to be at a place you never thought you would get to, because all it takes is that decision. And I think that that's the beautiful thing with success. And I'm so excited to be sharing the content today because, these ideas that we're sharing with people, hopefully it will spark people into major action.
Oh yeah. And there are literally endless amounts of ideas that we come up with on a day-to-day basis. And I've mentioned before that my to-do list of ideas often outweighs, the action I can take. And so I've just, constantly having to filter and prioritize which ideas I do turn into some kind of product or blog post or webinar or something like that. So, we hope you guys are going to get a lot from this episode. We've been rambling now for a little while, but I think it's really important because, mindset is, people think that it's just about the sales and marketing stuff, but it has to be driven from you being in the right mental state, as we are constantly talking about. But AJ, you want to talk about an overview of this marketing kind of almost like the format of before we go into like the brainstorm, right?
Yeah, so I think it's important just to preface this so people kind of understand where they can apply this marketing, because there's so many different things you can do with it. And I think if people just have a slight focus from the get-go, it'll make it a little bit easier, because a lot of times you learn stuff, but you're like, I don't know where to start. So essentially, we know there's 3 ways to get new clients, right? You can go out and get, on your own, you can go out and get a brand new client. So through your own efforts. You have current clients that you work with that can be referral engines, right? So that can be another way to get a new client, is through your current clients, through their efforts. And we talked about referral marketing in a previous episode. It's probably one of our best episodes. So if you haven't listened to it, I definitely would download that and dissect it, listen to it, take notes over and over again. And then the third way is obviously reactivation. So previous clients, bringing them back in and into the program. And so any of this marketing can be used in any phase of those, because we literally can, referrals, we think it's our own clients, but sometimes we can create referral relationships outside with other doctors and chiropractors and things like that. And so everything we're going to share, I was looking over the mind map that you shared, Simon, with me, just to kind of spark the ideas. Everything we share can be applied in one of these 3 areas. And I think it's important that you have a system in each area. And so if you're not doing anything right now, maybe take what we're suggesting, see how you can apply it to one of these areas to get new clients in, because that's the lifeline of your business, is bringing in new business and keeping old business. So, with that said, why don't we just jump right into it and just start talking about the different things that they can do.
We're going to reel off these so quick. You're going to have a pen and paper. So if you need to grab one, pause the episode now, because you're going to have so many notes, like it's going to go crazy. Because I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things I want to talk about already, and I've still got a handful of other things I want to talk about.
Let's just kick it off and let's just go right into it. So why don't you start off with what you got at the top of the list?
Well, I've actually got other stuff in front of me. So the thing that you're seeing, this is just going to be completely random. So I'm going to talk about, the first thing I'm going to be talking about, a competition or prize draw. All right. So competition or prize draw, you could, maybe you could go to a local show, and there you could actually be talking about your personal training. But actually, one of my clients does this. He has like a spinny wheel, like a wheel of fortune. He spins it. And when he spins it, people can either have a free session, they can have a free week of semi-private, they can have a free protein pack. And basically, every time they spin it, he generates a lead. So that's one little strategy. AJ, move on to the next one.
Well, I think if you lead, I'll follow with kind of an idea on what you're saying as well. Okay. Talk about spin the wheel, competition. But the other thing you can do competition-wise is competition amongst your members for competition of attendance for the month, competition for referrals of the month. Anytime you can create competition. I am a big competition fan. I hate this, these child sports organizations where no one keeps score, and life is kept by score. And I don't believe in this. Letting everyone be equals and stuff. Kids keep score regardless of whether they keep score. Competition is good. Anytime you can install that anywhere in your business, you're going to see people, their competitive side come out, and they're going to compete. So think of all the different ways you can create competition. You could create it within workouts. And I think, certain workout styles, that's the purpose, right? They compete for time or they compete for weight. So how can you incorporate this stuff into your business in order to bring out the best of your clients, but also to generate new business or generate, new income through that stuff. So competition, it's a great thing to infuse into the business.
Cool. Next one. So an audio CD or MP3 download, a great way to provide value is give something away for free. So what you could do is you could go up to people in the gym or people in your local area, just ask them what their biggest challenge is, compile a list of the answers, and then record, just like this podcast, grab a microphone, record all the answers and put together an audio CD of the biggest questions about X, strength training, biggest questions about weight loss, biggest questions about kettlebell exercises, biggest questions answered about whatever topic you are the master and magician in solving. Then you can put all of those in. You can generate leads by each one and say to the people, look, I'm putting all the answers together on this CD. Can you give me your email address or postal address so I can send it to you? Then you put together the CD. It costs you about £1 to do. Give it to them. They get some value from it. Probably end up hiring you. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. You generated yourself an email list and also a database of maybe addresses to crush your competition. Boom.
Boom. Moving on, you could do a DVD of testimonials, we can have a video on your website of testimonials, but not testimonials where they just talk. But basically, you take them and you interview them. And if you've seen like Beachbody, or you've seen P90X, or you've seen any of those programs on TV, look at how they interview and get their testimonials. It's about the lifestyle. It's about how things have changed. Create that. Put that on DVD. Send that out to prospects. Give it away at conventions if you go to them and have a booth there. Give it away at networking events, anywhere where you can show people what your community is about, which your gym should be a community, and you can introduce them and create heroes out of people in your gym, where it's not about you, it's about the bigger picture, it's about the bigger message. And of course, they're going to relate to someone on that video. And probably, they're going to say, if that person can do it, I can do it too. So it's a place you can use and you can do a DVD with. Very high quality, separates you from everyone else. Definitely something you should have in your arsenal.
Cool. I'm loving this. This is just like spinny wheel of fortune of marketing ideas. Next one, just a super quick one. Superfire your email signature. Instead of just putting your name and your telephone number and website address, link up like your best testimonials page, link up a call to action afterwards, link up, an application for a free gift, something like that. So basically just stack up below your signature and turn it into a turbocharged signature. Anything on that, AJ? Yeah,
super signatures. We use them for if you have any other products that you sell, supplements, anything you recommend in your business to add additional revenue. If you have a product, if you have supplements, you can just put in a little sentence that leads them to click the link to learn more. Or if you're technical, HTML, you can create a graphic, hyperlink the graphic in the email. But basically, that's going to create, people are going to click through. I remember my first online business was a newsletter that I sent out. I sent it out once a month, and I gave content. I don't know much about nutrition. I never have got into nutrition. I've always hired experts to work with me, and over the years I've learned more. But when I first started, I knew very little. So I partnered with Precision Nutrition. And each month I would post a little nutrition tip. It would have a link to click over for a product, for their product. And every month I made sales. And so it doesn't even have to be your product. It could be something you've aligned with, something you believe in. But throw it in the emails and use it. And you will generate pretty much revenue every time you send that email out. That's the beauty of email.
Fundraising, local businesses, go to a local business. We've discussed this before, and invite their staff to come for a free boot camp or free day specific to that business. And then you can start rotating the businesses and generate all the money for charity too. So that's a good one.
Yeah, partnering for charity is also a great way to get more publicity. So if you do that, make sure you reach out, send press releases to the newspapers and things like that, because they will come and cover that stuff. They're always looking for content. And anytime you partner with a charity or a charitable organization, they're happy to publish that, and it's free media, free press, and leverage it to the maximum. If that charity has a newsletter, if that charity has an email list, see if you can partner with them, and if you can put something in there. Maybe you can even become the fitness expert for them if they have a newsletter and they send it out. But basically, create a relationship, leverage that relationship as much as you can. Of course, it serves both of you, both your business as well as the charity.
Hi, this is local BBC Radio Devon. So what you want to do with a local talk show host is, if they're talking about, oh my God, I've got a marathon I'm running this weekend, or I'm entering this new Spartan race or whatever, you want to jump on the phone and offer to train that person and accelerate their progress. That means that you'll get interviewed on the show, you'll get coverage, and you can use as featured on the BBC News in your marketing.
It's funny you talk about, getting on the radio. I think what a lot of people don't understand is most radio hosts now have gone social media. So they're on the radio, but they share their Twitter link, they share their Facebook, they share that. If you ever try to reach anyone and you tweet them, you Facebook message them, there is a very high probability they're going to get back to you. And so if you're coming to them with a giving hand, and you're offering to train them for their race, train them, because they say they need to lose weight, train them, whatever, you can start that relationship and it's going to pay off. You're going to get on the radio. You don't have to start with trying to get on the radio from the beginning. It's a long-term game. Remember, relationships are what are going to propel you forward. And so if you see value in that relationship, give first before you ever try to take. But you can reach them now on social media. So make sure you're paying attention to your local celebrities, local news anchors, local radio stars, and figure out where they're hanging out. And if they're on social media, if they're on Twitter, interact with them, offer to help them, and you'll be surprised at how easy it is.
Definitely. Also, here's another one: giving recipes to your existing clients as value, but also using those recipes as a lead generator. So going up to the people into the gym, giving them a recipe pack, and that way that generates a lead, but also adds value to your client and gets some faster results. You can use something like fitprorecipes.co.uk or fitproclientrecipes.co.uk. Two people I know very well that run two individual businesses that are fantastic for doing that. You can actually go in, get your stuff branded already. Both worth looking at, definitely for that.
Yeah, and it goes beyond that too in terms of white labeling, right? White labeling is where someone else provides the product and you just slap your brand right on it. I'm not a big brand guy because, brands are built after the fact they become popular. Oftentimes logos change to look better and to attract more people, but they never start like that. Small businesses tend not to need to brand so intensely like a big business ends up branding. But when you're creating a community, you don't want them going over here to buy that, over there to buy that. If you're providing it, even if it's water, you should stick your own label on it. Stick your thing on it. So everything is about the gym, is about the community. So look at things you can throw your brand on and associate with. You can do it from supplements to food to like I said, water bottles, T-shirts, things like that. Things that are going to get your name out there. Because what happens is your clients leave the gym and they carry those things with them. Right. And they're in their kitchen and people see that and then they ask questions. And so it can create conversations outside the gym that can lead to referrals. So be always thinking, what can I, include it, in my services? What can I throw my label on, my brand name on, and create conversations outside of the gym. So.
Yeah, another one for that is imagine where your client is, all the time when they're trying to be healthy in their kitchen. So wouldn't it be awesome if you could do something which was like the top 100 healthiest foods and then put that on their fridge with your brand on it, and that stays there all the time, so they're constantly seeing your brand.
Think about recipe guides, right? You could every week you could send out a new recipe, just have a designer mock it up, If you guys don't know, if you don't have designers or anything like that, you can go to odes.com and you can name your price and someone will design it for you. You can get it, recipe template done each week, create a new recipe, send it out. Guarantee you people are going to print those out. They're going to create a folder. They're going to create a binder. Now, they might
that's what FitPro Recipes and fitproclientrecipes.co.uk do.
Exactly.
All done for you.
All done for you. And the beautiful thing with it is think about a recipe book. All right. Those get passed on generations, right? You see, parents pass them on to their children. The children learn the recipes, photocopy the recipes, blah, 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 blah. Think of the impact you have long term. It's a ripple effect, and that's just going to expand out. And they're going to share those with their friends, and your branding is on it, boom.
Cool. So also another one, you want to stand in shopping supermarkets, wait for overweight people to go through with unhealthy food and just to give them your business card. I'm just kidding. Don't do that one. I just thought I'd throw a random in one there.
It's funny though, because the little child seats you can get? I've seen over here, there's like some supermarkets that allow you to advertise on those, right? And you could, if you were smart and you use direct response marketing, you could put a message on there that would, subconsciously, basically make them shop healthier. And you'd have to think about the language here, and what you're going to say. But essentially, like you could draw a map of if you knew what grocery store it was going into, you could draw a map of the grocery store, stick it on there, and put like green for what's healthy and then red for so basically the outside of the grocery store is healthy. And then the aisles are unhealthy. So you could put red on the unhealthy. You could have a little thing that says green, healthy, red, unhealthy. If you want to learn more about being healthy, contact this number for your free 2-week trial at this boot camp, this studio, this whatever. But you got to get creative. But there's places and there's things out there where you can show up in an unexpected way, and you don't have to offend people like Simon does. He likes to shock and awe over there.
You could, but seriously, to add more value, you can do, supermarket tours, shopping mall tour, supermarket, grocery tours, just to help people make better choices when it comes to shopping, because people are a nightmare.
I mean, how many trainers, if they literally, the new client came on, right, and then they went to their house, went through their cupboards, threw everything away that was crap, took them to the store, showed them how to shop. Do you think your clients would get better results? I guarantee they would get better results, but I don't see many trainers doing that because they don't want to put that effort in. The effort's what makes the difference, guys.
Yep. So next one, research findings or statistics. So, next bit of media comes out or the next statistic comes out that you want to talk about that's maybe a bit controversial. Start talking about that, putting that into a blog and creating debate around it. And that way you can drive people to your website. You can offer them your free gift. You can get them into your email sequence. And that way you can use the latest trends and controversial topics to generate interest in your brand.
Yeah, statistics you can literally use to punch people in the face and wake up. If you're advertising to the boomer industry, you could find a statistic, and this is just off the top of my head. It's not accurate whatsoever. But like 87% of people over the age of 60 die from heart failure due to being overweight. That is a slap in the face. And you put that in the newspaper as an advertorial, right? And you start to build that stuff out. You're going to get a lot of attention from it. So the information is out there. You've got to figure out how to use it in the most powerful way. And it's okay to offend some people. It's okay to make them, stand up and realize that they're living unhealthily. And if it takes a little bit of shock and awe and it takes a little bit of in your face marketing, that's okay. Because those are the people who are going to turn around and they're going to get their action. If they're offended by it and they don't want your help, then they're you just deal with a little bit of hate mail. But hey, if you're worried about people hating you, then none of us would move forward.
No, if you want to attract people with money to spend, then local business owners is great. You want to go to business owners and offer to do a talk to their staff, go to their HR department, offer to put on a free seminar providing tips and advice on how their staff can be more productive. When you go out with a helping hand rather than a taking hand, you're going to get in the business, you're going to make friends with the CEOs, people who've got money to spend, and that way you may find a little inroad which you are very surprised that you didn't know existed.
Yeah, I was actually just reading a book about the Iron Tribe. It's a fitness franchise that is doing very well, and they use scarcity direct marketing. Only 300 spots available in their facility when they open up. And one thing they've decided to do is how do we fill the 300 quicker so we can open another studio in the same area? And it's a great question to ask. And what they figured out is go to corporate companies that have big staffs, figure out how to provide value for them before they even open the places. They're filling the studios up. So how can you imitate that success? How can you bring in large groups of people if you're running a boot camp, if you're running semi-private training where you're training 5 to 10 people at a time, whatever you're doing, how can you fill those groups quicker? And the answer is going to places that have large groups that want to partner with you. And, as things move forward and rules change and insurance changes, people are encouraging their workers and their employees. And it's pretty easy for you to start interacting with them because not many people are doing it, guys. Most people won't take the effort. Most people won't go above and beyond. And you'll be in the 1% that does it. The fact you're listening to this already puts you ahead of most trainers. If you actually take action on this, out of everyone that listens, only 20 people are going to do anything we ever say. And out of those 20 people, 20%, and out of those 20%, only 20% of that 20% are actually going to continue to push forward month after month after month. That's how small the competition is. And that's why I always say, when you set audacious goals, you set crazy ideas, it's so easy to achieve them if you believe in yourself because no one else is doing it. You're on your own out there. So think about who's the biggest company? How am I going to get all of their employees to come work out at my place? Start working backwards and go in and go do it.
AJ, take some water or something. This is just getting too fast paced. We've only got about 10 minutes left.
I love it.
Willy Wonka and a chocolate factory. Think about the golden ticket, okay? And put some, I know you're laughing right there. Put some vouchers in a golden envelope and then randomly put those golden envelopes in random places, maybe some lockers in the gym, and invite people for a free session. Okay, so I just changed the tone of the episode. Moving on.
I'm just thinking about chocolate now, and I'm like, dang you, I want Willy Wonka chocolate. I want to be swimming in a pool of chocolot. And
you want chocolate willies?
So here's the thing, though, that and this is going to get completely off topic, but we're kind of getting towards the end of time. We could go on we could just do episode.
We got another 8 minutes. We got 8 minutes.
We'll bust out another episode like this at some point. But what gym is it over here? Planet Fitness. It's not a gym, and that's their marketing. Planet Fitness. It's not a gym, right? And they have pizza and candy and all these things, and it drives every personal trainer crazy. And they're out of their mind, if you ask me. It's the worst marketing strategy you can ever see. But they're one of the most successful franchises. Now, I call it the worst because the impact they're having, the lives they're changing. To them, it's all about the membership base. It's all about attracting people who are terrified of regular gyms, et cetera, et cetera. For what they're doing, it works very well. But in terms of the purpose of a personal training place, a gym, and the lives they're impacting is very low. But if you look at their marketing and you look at what they're doing, they've selected a certain type of people and they're giving them everything they want, right? And then what they need is the gym facility. But they're bringing them in with everything they want. How can you think of that? Like what in your area, what do people want? And so we've seen new fitness crazes pop up because a lot of people want the workouts where they puke, right? They want to feel exhausted after a workout. Whether that's the best way to train or not, it doesn't matter because you'll attract the people that do that. And so with your marketing, pick a stance and really, hammer that home and stay firm on that stance. If you flip flop as a trainer and say that you can do this and I can do that and I can do this and I can do this, and you list off 10 different things you can do, it's never going to be effective. And so if you figure out exactly what you stand for in terms of your training beliefs and the people you want to work with, and usually if you look at yourself, that'll answer all the questions. But if you figure that out, go find groups of those people and figure out how can you train those groups of people. If you want to work with athletes, how can I get a group of athletes to come train me? If you want to work with the people who like to work out till they puke, go find the people who are currently training for CrossFit, currently training for Spartan races, currently training for Tough Mudders, things like that. Where are those people? How can we get involved in that community and show them that maybe we have a more sophisticated way, a proven way, whatever it is, in order to bring them into the facility?
Web seminars, so webinars, put together your best awesome content and then get that online, and you can even automate it now. So you do it once and then you just constantly bring in leads using something like Stealth Seminar. But the first step is to plan out your webinar. Maybe put 10 steps to the ultimate bikini body or 10 steps to lose belly fat, whatever you want to do that, record it once. You can start putting people through that. You can also use that for when people sign up for retention. Even if people don't sign up with you, you can add them and give them value so that, they increases the chances of maybe they can't invest now but can do in the future. And so just leveraging the information that you have inside you in order to monetize that, in order to use it for lead generators or for products, is a great way to go.
Exactly. You want to be looking at how can you be involved in their lives outside of the gym. If they come to you 3 times a week for an hour time, that's only 3 hours with you. How do you infiltrate the rest of their life so that you're their mentor, you're the person they look to for the answers, you're the person they look to for approval, you're the person they come to when they get the results to share with them. Think of those things. The webinars are great, but you can take that live. You can do weekend seminars. On a Saturday, you have them in for an hour. You can do community events where you hold, potlucks, barbecues, whatever it is, where you're constantly educating, constantly helping people move forward outside of those hours they're with you in the gym. The passive webinars where it's pre-done training, repeat, send it out. It's a great way to leverage your time. But just think of that concept of, okay, what I'm actually doing is I'm providing more value. I'm educating beyond what they signed up for, and I'm becoming their leader outside of the gym as well as inside of the gym. If you think of those principles, think of all the things you can do with that, and you're going to you'll be coming up with ideas all day long.
Definitely. Shopping centers, doing a body fat station. I know some people don't like doing that, but it's a great way to get leads.
I've heard a lot of people fill their entire, when they open a facility and they run a boot camp or they're in a class, right? And maybe it's a semi-private 5 at a time, but they fill up their entire time slots, their entire classes. All they do is go to the mall or the shopping center as we call it back in the UK. But they just go there and they literally walk around all day handing out, free passes, interacting with people, talking about it. If they have a booth that they've sponsored, and they've got a station, they'll do body fat tests, they'll do free assessments and stuff at the mall, and they literally fill it up because guess what, guys? That is a place where people gather. That's a large group of people. We talked about it this episode about getting in front of large people. That's a great place. Get close to the food court, and you're going to see a lot of people that need your help. And you're not offending them. Most of them want your help. They don't know where to start. And so, free is a great way to bring them in. You don't even have to do free though. If you're a good salesman, you got your pitch down. All you need to do is set the next appointment, so they can come in for that what we call a sales session, they can come in and you can take them through your process and then sell them into your program. You don't have to give them 2 weeks free. That's not always the best way, depending on your business model. But that can be the opportunity to set the next appointment. You can get their emails, you get their phone numbers, whatever it is. The micro commitment to follow up with you after that, and then it's on you to get them to show up and to move them through the sales process.
Instead of leaflets, postcards. Put your best testimonial on a postcard and put the story of that person's transformation on the postcard with an offer of a free session with you. Bam! Do you know what? I think we are done, AJ.
Just one thing on the postcards. I think most people undervalue direct mail. And, I've really studied direct mail and learned how to use the same principles online, email, all that kind of stuff. But with direct mail, back in the day, it was so competitive. Everyone was sending mail because that was the only way to reach people. Then the internet comes out and pretty much most people move away from direct mail, which opens the opens the mailbox up. Okay. The reason a postcard is so effective is because they don't have to open anything. They just see the message right there and then. And so there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. And you want to use direct response marketing, where you basically using copy and things like that. You don't want how you see a lot of these global gyms advertising where it's just a picture, a stock image or anything like that. You want to take some time and really look into how to create a good postcard. But direct mail is so effective because people don't get mail the way they used to. You don't get a lot of mail anymore. And the junk mail you get is always those newspapers with coupons and stuff. But you're not getting these oversized postcards very often anymore. And when you do, they're usually crap. So if you send one that's actually designed correctly and uses direct response marketing, you will get a response. But be prepared to follow up to make sure you have a 3-step follow-up system so that you're not just sending it out and only going off of that first wave of responses. Make sure you have a 3-step follow-up system, and you'll be surprised at how well direct mail works when you invest. And I think that's a big thing, and we'll talk about it in another episode, but I think a lot of fitness business owners don't have a monthly marketing budget, and they don't spend any money on advertising. But then again, they don't have any systems in place for the guerrilla marketing, which is free, and that's the problem. So we'll talk about that in a future episode.
Yeah, I think we could probably do a whole episode on just guerrilla marketing strategies. But today we just wanted to give you an overview of some of the basic ones and to help you guys realize that, guys, if you're not making the level of income you want right now, it's not down to the amount of information you have. It's about the action you take and the hustling.
Yeah, what I would say is out of all the things we've said, a lot of you probably are like, well, that's a lot of ideas. Where should I do? What I would do is map out the calendar, and every 2 weeks, right? So, 2 weeks to get one of these things done. 2 weeks to get one of these things done. 2 weeks to get one of these things done. And if you map it out like that, and really you could take everything we've said and you could implement it over the next 6 to 12 months. But give yourself 2 weeks to implement, to design, to create. And if you block that in there and you go to your calendar right now, pick a day that you're going to focus on it, a time block, 2 to 4 hours in order to map it out, to really get it into place. And you do that and you put it on your calendar and you put it in for the next year. And every 2 weeks, and you map out, I'm going to do this for 2 weeks, this for 2 weeks, this for 2 weeks. You guys are going to move forward so fast. It's going to be unbelievable. If you don't, and you just listen to this podcast and you don't right now, go to your calendar and put that in, I guarantee you won't do it. So, bear that in mind. It might be a good idea if you're driving, and you don't have time right now. Understand, as soon as you pull over, make a note in your calendar on your phone. But please don't listen to this and don't take action.
Don't do that, guys. Just don't do that. So thank you very much for listening to this crazy episode. Once again, guys, just go to Facebook and go, guys, thanks for the episode craziness, tag Fitpreneurs, or just message myself and AJ, facebook.com/boylovell or facebook.com/AJ Roberts. Also head to the Fitpreneurs and also give us a review on iTunes. Go on, just spend a little bit of time. Go on, you want to do it. Just head over there, hit that five-star review and go, oh God, that was awesome.
You know what? And if you got fitness friends that you think should be listening to this, please send them a link, share it. We're here
why not do that? That's just rude.
Yep, exactly.
And also, by the next episode, we will have sorted out AJ's indigestion problem.
I talk too fast.
No, you're just drinking all the time as you're necking back that Foster's.
I got a Monster and a Starbucks right here and a coffee.
Nice.
Like a hot coffee. So, yeah.
So what a Starbucks if it's not coffee? So the quote of the week. Oh, weekly challenge. I jumped ahead. Implement just one of these and you'll make money. There you go. That's your weekly challenge.
And put it on the calendar. I think put it on the calendar and start implementing. And, let us know your results, guys, because we've been, when we work with people personally, both Simon and I can hold you accountable. And when we hold people accountable, they can't escape us. You guys are listening. We don't know who's listening unless you tell us. And so we want to hear about the results of the listeners because we want to show other listeners that people are getting results out there. And we want to share with them your success, and we want to, praise you, and we want to basically show you off and say, look at this person, they're awesome. And who doesn't like that? So please, when you're taking action, you're getting results, let us know as little or as big as it is, because we get fired up on that, but also the other listeners are going to get fired up on that. And that's what it's all about. Like we said, it's about the purpose-driven business for us, and it's about helping as many people as we can.
This week's quote is from Mr. Bill Cosby, and he says, in order to succeed... Actually, can you say it in a Bill Cosby voice? I have no idea what Bill Cosby sounds like.
I can't even remember. I used to watch his show all the time. But
no. It doesn't sound like this, I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
In order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear of failure. I think that's an awesome quote.
That is an awesome quote. The thing with Bill is he's probably one of the best comedians out there, and he really made a precedent early in his career. He said he's never going to do any comedy that would offend anyone, and he really stuck to that. And a lot of people said he was crazy and that it wouldn't work, and that what he wanted to do wouldn't work. And I heard from the people who listened to interviews of people who were on that show, on the Bill Cosby show. And he said it's very hard to work with Bill because everything is pretty much unscripted, and he just makes you laugh all the time. But they had season after season success, and now he's really pushed forward. And I think that he's embodied that belief of you have to succeed and you can't let your fears get in your way. And I actually just posted to my Facebook a Michael Jordan quote. Michael Jordan just became is the only billionaire athlete right now, I believe, and he has a quote: "Limits like fears are often just an illusion," and goes right in line with what Bill said. And I think what you're going to find is most successful people have this belief, and so your fears are normal. We all have fears. But it's about just knowing that they're there and just moving past it.
Definitely, guys. And in all seriousness, we want to help you build your fitness business. So, reach out if you need any help, if you want us to point you in the right direction, or, just give you a little virtual prod. We'll do that for you. On that note,
you know what? I think this has been a crazy episode. I think some people are probably going to love it, and some people are going to be like, "Man, they were all over the place. I had no idea what was going on."
They were crazy,
but that's okay. You can slow us down if you listen to us on an iPhone or you listen to any audio player. You probably can put us on half speed, and we'll sound normal. If you're like me, you'll put us on 2 speed. We'll sound like chipmunks, and you'll have an even greater laugh. So, hope you've enjoyed the show. We've definitely enjoyed doing it as always. And we'll be back here soon for another episode of The Fitpreneurs.
Take care, guys. See you later.
Guys, thanks for the killer episode. Listen, if you want to take your fitness business to the next level, terminate your competition, create ultimate freedom, buy new houses, cars, which could blow up, travel the world, or open your own gym where you can lift really heavy weights, then head to www.thefitpreneurs.com/free call for details on how to apply for your free accelerator call. Until the next episode, hasta la vista, Fit Pros. Fit Pros. Fit Pros. Fit Pros. Fit Pros. Fit Pros. Fit